So, hello to you all there. Mm, This is my first video in this channel, now called Shamanic Soul Building. And there's going to be lots of shamanic stuff, lots of soul building stuff. I'm going to explain what is soul building, but it's not what's going on in this first video. I was ordered by my higher self or highest self to talk about witch wound today. So that's the topic I'm going to go with this video. So, witch wound. How does it sound for you there? Because many people know what witch wound is. Many people know something about witch wound, and some people don't know at all what that means. So, let's dive in to that, what it means. Witch wound. Well, it's basically a wound related to witchery. And we all spiritual people, light workers, witches, shamans, healers, psychics, seers, everyone that has this spiritual path and is here in service basically has witch wound, basically carries witch wound in their system. So the witch wound is traumas and stuff that has happened in previous lives, maybe also in this life, but normally the witch wound goes to the previous life or the parallel lives. So let's not talk about these lives witch wounds. We talk about like parallel lives and previous lives witch wounds today. So the thing is that there's some bad things. Some bad things has happened to you when you were a witch, you were a shaman, healer, sage, anything spiritual, anything out of the norm. And you were doing these healings, you were doing seeings, fortune telling, healing with herbs. You were just out of the ordinary. And then some people did something bad to you. That's basically the wound you are carrying. And that's basically the wound that everybody knows what is witch wound. That's the trauma that we carry. So you were a witch and something bad happened to you. Maybe you were burnt at the stake, maybe you were thrown at the river, maybe just someone betrayed you, maybe you were killed at some other way. But that's the basic witch wound that normally people know. But then there's this other kind of witch wound that's not talked about that much, and it's equally important, or maybe actually more important. It's easy to understand the wound that we are like the victim, something bad has happened to us. It's easy to understand, and it's relatively easy to go through to heal. But the more or the worse part or harder part of the witch wound is when we have been like a bad witch, black witch, witch doing something bad. So we fear our own power. That's one part of the witch wound also. And that's basically the more important part. Because when you're a victim, you can still manage. There's only fear that someone else is going to do something to you. So basically you can do that still if you're just like in a closed environment. But the witch wound, when you have done something bad with your witchery, with your spirituality, with your own power, that's worse burden to carry, because, well, it's really, how would I say, it's really hard to fear your own power. It's really hard to fear your own darkness. It's really hard to fear yourself. I know I carry it myself a lot, but I have also healed that a lot. And it's a really, really hard burden to carry. Because then you can't be in your own power. And in this time, we really need to be in our own power. We really need to be those witches, shamans, healers, sages, seers, light workers, light warriors, what else? It doesn't matter what you call yourself. But if you're here to be spiritual and in service, you need to be on your own power, in your own power. And if you fear your own power, you can't be in your own power. Yeah? Understandable? Yeah, it is. But it's not that easy to overcome the fear, because there are these traumas that we have been really, really bad. It might be that just some spell gone wrong, maybe some healing gone wrong, and someone got killed or something. But it might be also that you were really, really bad. You were like doing this black magic, maybe in just big level, scholar level, like you were like doing these black magic rituals to make people your slave. It might be a thing. It doesn't have to be like that, but it's one example. So if you carry that inside of you, you might really fear your own power, because in this lifetime you don't want to do those kind of things, but you still carry the thing inside of you. You carry the memory of it. You carry the imprint of that thing when you did those bad things. So that's the hard part of the witch wound. When you were a bad witch, even though there's no good and bad, blah 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 blah. Yeah, there is good and bad. Depends on who you ask. And now the person who you are asking is you. So if you think you did bad, then you will carry this memory, this imprint that's causing you to fear your own power. Because if you don't feel that's bad, then you don't have the fear. So yeah, there is good and bad in a way. And the thing, how to overcome this, is to come in terms of your own power and to forgive yourself that you have done those things. You have been bad. You have been selfish. You might have just been wrong. You might have accidentally caused some wrong things. But you need to understand that you did those from your, how would I say, from your highest knowing at the point. You need to give yourself understanding. You need to give yourself love. You need to give yourself acceptance. You need to forgive yourself that thing. Because if you don't, it just goes on and on your system. And it makes you fear your own power. That's the main point of the witch wound nowadays, I think. Collectively, we have healed lots of things that there were these like burning of the witches. There were these lots of witches were killed. So we have healed lots of that collectively. We have healed lots of that like ourselves. But the thing that we haven't healed that much is the collective bad witch wound. So if we want to be in our own power, we need to start healing our own darkness, our own faults. It's not just always that we have been the victim. No, we have also been the bad doer. So we are not only victims. We are also making people victims. So that's a very important thing of the witch wound. If you maybe might need some help with that, I specialize in witch wounds with my shamanic healings, but that's another topic. But if you need some help, you can give me a message and let's see if I can help you. Have a good day and have a nice day with your witch wounds.